And we're live. Hey, this is Richard Wallen and Karen Oliver coming to you from WIIFM. I apologize for being a few minutes late. We had a few little technical glitches, and I needed to update a few places where where you could actually link into this webinar. All right, so basically, a little bit of, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about both of us, so that I'm going to give you a little bit of background on me, why you should even be listening to us, and then I'll let Karen give you a little bit about her. So I had started off into this industry probably only, let's see, 2014 is when I got serious about it. I started dabbling in it on and off throughout the past decade, mainly because I liked some of the products and services that were made available through online marketing, affiliate marketing, the network marketing, et cetera, et cetera. And so one thing that I had learned is that there's some people actually made it into a business and had a phenomenal lifestyle, and that really intrigued me. I really liked doing what I was doing, so I stayed with that, just like a lot of people will. Then pretty soon I became miserably comfortable and was seeking a change, and that's when I really got serious. So this is part of the reason why we put together this webinar, was because a lot of times people struggle with getting started, and I've spent a lot of time and effort on that topic. So me, I've come from the oil and gas industry and moved on into being a professional in marketing. And so now I know my sister, she's always had to been a professional in marketing because she's been running her own business now since she was like in her 20s. So I'm going to let her introduce herself here. So here's Karen Oliver.
Hi, my name is Karen Oliver, and I currently live in and have lived in for a long time in the Palm Beaches in Florida, land of paradise. Love it so much. I want to travel more and see other areas of paradise. My background is a contractor. I was born into it, and out of 4 brothers, the girl went into the business. So that was exciting for about, we won't say how long, but I'm glad to be done with the Good Old Boys Club. And basically have been working in my pajamas for the last 15 years, which I love. I love working virtually. What I do is reports to do with building your home or business energy efficiently. And I truly enjoy that. It gives me a lot of freedom to do the things that I want to do, but I don't travel as much as I would like to. Hence, joint venturing with my brother. Just getting back from an awesome cruise with him where we learned so much, exciting group of people. Really a dream come true to spend time with a sibling that, as siblings, I think we were at the all-time high of rivalry. So this is a first for me. You have to give me a little guideline here. What else?
All right, so what we'll do is we're going to go into, I sent an email out to show you the invite link and everything, and we're just going to cover some simple things. We're going to do the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway that I had, and it resonated with me because I realized I've done a lot of presentations in the past, and every time I knew how critical they were and how important they were, that if we didn't present it exactly as it needed to be presented, then we didn't win the prize. So we had to practice first our individual components, like if there were more than one person giving the presentation, which in this case, in the business we're in now, it's typically a one-on-one thing. So you had to practice, okay? You had to practice. What are you going to talk about? How are you going to deliver it? What are you going to put emphasis on? And it all depended on who you were talking to. So that's what we did. We practiced, and that's what I want to cover. So basically 3 items here. We want to talk about practice gets the prize, all right? And I'm going to cut away over here and share a screen. I put together a simple little presentation for us to look at. And so practice gets the prize, because if you're waiting for something to happen, it's just not going to happen. You're going to stumble all over your feet if you don't if you don't practice. All right, and then we had some questions that I felt like it was a good segue into, some of the key points that Karen had taken away from a lot of the things that we've done. And so I know that if you don't mentally prepare yourself, then you're going to struggle and you're going to lose track, and you're not going to have your end destination in mind, so to speak. So what I did is I created a presentation here, and basically I have my first question is, are you ready to get started? Are you really present? I love the way Karen and I have segued back and forth into the different things that we're like on the same path, but we're running in different lanes. So she gets exposed to things that I don't see. I get exposed to things that she doesn't see. So, and we can combine it synergistically and really have some amazing outcomes. And one of them that I've been exposed to, but I didn't practice like she did, and that was becoming present. And so that's something that is very important for you to do right now and today, is become present with yourself, so that you know that you're ready to get started and you're ready to move forward, that wherever you're at, you're stuck, or you feel like you're in a, what do you call it, a hamster wheel, and that you're just waking up, doing the same thing, going to bed, waking up, doing the same thing over and over and over. And basically you're either bored or you're aggravated or whatever the emotional state is. You've identified it and you want to do something different here right now. So are you ready to get started? Become present with yourself. Okay. And then my next first question, I sort of threw this slide together for you real quick this morning. And my next first question is this. First, you need to figure out where you're going. Okay. What do you really want? Even if it's short term, even if it's just to the end of today. And so that you practice doing that, the end of each day, I want to be here, so that pretty soon you've gotten so good at that, then you can start projecting a week, and then a month, and then a year, and so forth. And that you practice getting good at creating visual goals, creating written goals, and all that, objectives, strategies, and then you work from the end, and you work back. All right. So, and again, like I said, we won't figure it all out here. This is a point for you to get started. And so some of the questions you need to ask yourself: what do you want? Have you ever really sat down and just started writing down all the things that you want, whether it's a boat, a plane, a house, a nice clothes, more money, whatever it is, and then write it all out. And then you come back and say, okay, what's really important to you now? After you put all this stuff down, whether you filled up a part of a page, a whole page, or 10 pages, what's really important to you right now? What really makes your heart happy? Okay, once you figure that out, once you take the time to do that, and you best to do it later today while it's fresh in your mind, or later after this webinar, sit down and figure out, what do you want? What's really important to you, and what makes your heart happy? Think about that. Really give it some thought. All right, so I want to say I know because, and this is where Karen's going to take it away, there's some basic strategies that you can apply today to start building skills to allow yourself to get better and better. If you get started, sometimes you're naturally good at something, but I'll guarantee you most of the time, you're like, if you're right-handed and you start something, it's like you're starting it with your left hand, and your right hand stays behind your back, and you're probably not going to be all that good at it. So as you practice it and you learn from somebody, whether you're watching somebody, modeling somebody, or having a coach that helps you, accelerate faster, that's when you get into this 3-step little philosophy I want Karen to touch on. You, sis.
Okay, so you were going to send me some slides, and I'm not seeing them.
Yeah, look, here's the ones up there. This is the one I wanted. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me read this. Let me read something from Dr. Paul Scheele. learning happens when you do something, get feedback on how well you did, and then correct the difference between your goal and the outcome you actually achieved. So when I first read this, I was thinking about my 14-year-old ninth grader in education. And that was the first thought that came to me, because one of the things that he is struggling with, as I myself and many adults, is what exactly is your goal? And sometimes, Richard said, we get caught up on the hamster wheel and we are just running. And it might be running from paycheck to paycheck, from bill to bill, from, it may go on to whatever excites you in life. And you're literally on a hamster wheel without any focus or direction in your near future or even long-term future. So the first thing that I think about learning happens when you do something is, what are we creating? What are we thinking about the more of that we want to do in our lives, instead of being so caught up in getting through that list of every day. So for me, the more of is spending family time. And for me also, the best time to do that is traveling, because when I'm home, I am nonstop, and it's really not quality time with my family. Yet I find traveling is. So this is what my goal is in the near future and presently. So my learning is, how can I share that with other people? I'm a contractor. I don't really have experience in sharing a lifestyle in, let's call it, an organized manner. Getting feedback on what I do. Well, I have my brother now, and you have us. So I just to reiterate, I want to learn this together with you. I want to experience this together with you. And I want to analyze it, because practice makes perfect. So it's learn it, experience it, and then analyze, and just get better and better at playing the piano. And back to you, Rick.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, sis. Hey, and so that goes to the last little bullet point there. How do you really start a conversation with somebody? Any conversation. When you go and you talk to people and you want to tell them about a movie, how do you open it up? Because I'll guarantee you, something about that movie moved you. Something about that movie gave you an inner feeling of excitement that you felt compelled to share that with. And that's just what it's all about, as far as, when you find a way, and that's how you can, I found a way, or I saw this incredible show, movie, book, whatever it was, and you can speak basically from your heart. How did you feel that way? What made you feel that way, and what made you want to share it? All right, there's going to be but you don't want to give away the farm, so to speak, as far as telling them all about it, and you want them to experience it themselves.
Sorry about that.
So that's all good. So when you practice something, when you take the time to a piece of information to somebody, if it's from your heart, you've already experienced the moment, and you're going to share that experience. If it's from a business perspective, then you're going to have to take and decide that you need to take the time to experience, the information that you're going to present. So until you decide, yes, you have to decide that you have to go and take this action. You have to go and practice in front of the mirror, and that's a technique that I'll cover in closing, that you have to spend those minutes when you're in between either picking up your kids, dropping off your kids, picking up groceries, making breakfast, supper, cleaning the house, or running errands for somebody because you promised you would. You have to take time to sit. And so whether you carry a little 3x5 index card or whatever size index card with you, and you can sit there and go over the topic, that what do you want to talk about, how are you going to present it, where are you going to put emphasis on, because you only want to emphasize the benefit. What's in it for you? What's in it for that person? Features don't matter right now. Features come out later. Okay, so there's no free ride. You have to spend the time. You have to take the time. You have to have a vision, like I was talking about up front. What do you want? What's really important to you? What makes your heart happy? And then visualize that. Visualize the outcome. So once you start doing this and practice and planning and basically putting a strategy together, even if it's only a broken up hour or two every day because your day is so full already, like Karen, I applaud her for all that she's able to keep up with the kids and the family and all that stuff that's going on. So plan as much as you can. Plan everything, but plan as much as you can and make it happen. You're the one. You are not average. Okay, that's one thing, and you have to tell yourself that. And I know you're not average, because average people don't settle for mediocrity. So you would not be here if you were average. You'd be sitting on the couch watching a TV or plugged into something or whatever. You would not be trying to do something more, with your life. So, So what I'm going to do, I threw this slide together because I felt like it was, at first I wasn't even going to do one. Then I said, you know what? People like to look at this stuff. So I'm going to shut this off now. And if any of you want to see this, just send us an email, send us a Facebook request, whatever, and we'll send you a copy of this presentation. Right now, what I want to remind you of, as long as you practice, okay, whenever you have something to present, whether it's 1 page or 5 pages or whatever, you get in front of the mirror with your presentation and you practice it. And you look at yourself while you're look at how you're putting emphasis on, have a smile on your face when you're doing this presentation, so that it helps people engaged with you, and keep your voice pitch changing. Put emphasis on some things, especially the things that you're passionate about and what you're presenting, and keep yourself focused on the prize. Okay, what's going to be the final outcome, and you will move right through the presentation. If you prefer that somebody doesn't ask you questions until the end, that up front. What do they call it? Setting the table. Set the table up front, saying, this is a presentation that I only have 5 minutes, or I only have 10 minutes, or whatever the time is. And for this to go, I understand your time is important, my time is important, and I want to make the most out of this. So I may already have answered your question if you let me finish the presentation. So if you will save all your questions and write them down so you don't forget them, for the end, we will be able to cover them in detail. And just do it like that. And that way you move smoothly through the presentation, and it's easier for you to get finished and keep the prize in mind. All right, so practice in the mirror, and when you think that you're doing well, when you think that you look good in the way that you're emphasizing everything, then take out your phone or camera or whatever and video yourself, okay? And see how much you can do without looking at the bullet points, and just glance at it and watch yourself in the video and see. There's always going to be areas where you can improve. Either speed up, emphasize, more hand movements. Depends on who you're talking to. Know who you're talking to and what they like to hear. And you should already have done a survey on those things that are important to the people that you're talking to. All right. So that's very important. Probing questions are extremely important, even if you do that up front before you even start your presentation. Make sure you understand what's important to the people that you're talking to, and then you can put the emphasis where the emphasis is needed, not just where you think it should go. All right, so that's really all I want. I wanted to keep this short and sweet. I didn't want to tie up your entire lunch break. I appreciate you guys taking time and talking to us. We're going to do more of this as we take and consolidate and segment all the really incredible information that we've been practicing ourselves. And as we find and discover better techniques that we learn from people that are way better than us, because definitely it doesn't matter how good you get, there's always going to be somebody that's really putting a lot of effort into something just superhuman like effort, and they're incredible. And the cool part about it is it seems like the more money these people make, the more they want to share. So, and I love being around those people because they're high energy and they're very, very positive. So I look forward to it. And this is Karen Oliver and Richard Wallen. We're signing off. And you got anything else, Karen?
Have a blessed day, and have a blessed day. Listen up and join us for the ride.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Cheers. And we'll talk to you on the flip side.